Do you want to step out of your comfort zone and learn how to do this eyeshadow tutorial? Well,
hey all you beautiful babes, so this is actually going to be one of my first in-depth creative eyeshadow tutorials, so let's get into it. Now before we just slap some eyeshadow on these eyelids, we have to make sure that we prime the lids. I'm going to be using my P. Louise base in Rumor Zero, or white. Or you can actually use an eyeshadow primer or concealer, works just as great. Not only does this help with the eyeshadow sticking to the eyelids, but it also helps with blending and pigmentation. And you know your girl loves some pigment crazy eyeshadow. Packing that base mostly on my lid, and then I'm going to softly blend it out to my eyebrow since this is a very white base. And the only thing I do recommend if you're using a concealer instead of a base, that you get a very light concealer, because if you get more of a yellow tone concealer, it's going to make your colors muddy and not the true color. And the reason why I like to use a white base is because these colors are going to be bright and pigmented. Unless you're going to be using more of neutral and nude shades, then I don't see a problem with using a yellow or darker concealer. Alright, now that these eyelids are primed and ready to go, there's one thing you should know, that I use multiple eyeshadow palettes, so try and keep up. So first up is Paradise Fallen, and I'm going to be using shade Shadow. I'm going to be using this very small, dense packing brush to pack on that shadow. Get it? Shadow and shadow? And instead of rubbing and sweeping that product in, I'm going to be tapping into the shape that I want. Now that I've packed that eyeshadow exactly where I want it, I'm going to be using very small circular motions to buff it out just a hair. Doing this step is going to help blend the colors together a lot better. Now that that's done, I'm going to be going in the shade Eye with the same makeup brush and just putting it right back on top to give it more of a purple feel. Now as you can see, I do have a little bit of fallout, and I just take a makeup brush and sweep that off very lightly. Alright, next step, I'm going to be using the Bloodlust palette in shade Scandal Water. And now, to be honest, I don't know exactly where I got this makeup brush, but this is literally one of my favorite. It's so small and flared out. It's the perfect for blending. And like always, I use very small circular motions to blend these products together. Next, I'm using shade Deviant, and I'm doing the exact same thing. And usually if you want your pigments a lot more brighter and stand out more than this is already doing, then you're just going to do the exact same steps. But I'm going to go ahead and blend it all together and out with Morphe M5014. Just very lightly and more towards the up of the brow is where I'm blending. And when I say soft and lightly, I mean I'm literally barely touching my eye. And a really great tip for applying pressure to the eye I have learned from a makeup artist named Michaela on TikTok. And what she describes is the further you hold your brush down, the lighter your finger is going to apply the pressure. Now if you hold it in the middle, you're going to apply a little more pressure. And then so on and so forth. The further you go up, the more pressure you're going to be applying. Alright, now that that blend is looking pretty dang good to me, I'm going to show you how to cut the crease properly. Now don't come for me, I don't know how to properly pronounce micellar water. I've seen a lot of people and heard a lot of people saying micellar water, so I'm just gonna go with that. So get your micellar water and some Q-tips. Get that baby nice and wet. Now we're just gonna cut that crease like we would with concealer. This is going to help so when you apply your concealer or base, it won't transfer from that purple. And you know what, I'm just now realizing that I forgot to put a star sticker right where I was blending these purples. But don't worry, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about when we move to this other eye. And now to fully cut that crease, I'm going to be using my P. Louise base once again. And now to carve out that crease, I like to use this type of makeup brush, and I kind of like to pinch it together. Putting a little bit on the back of my hand. Alright, now that that crease is cut, I'm going to show you all the part that I forgot to record. So you're going to need a star sticker. Now we're just going to place that sticker exactly where I want it and trace where the star is. Alright, now that I filled that little baby star in, I'm going to pack a neutral shade on just right along these lines. I'll show you. To make this eyeliner, we're going to use setting spray and an eyeshadow. Scraping off mint condition into this little mixing palette. Now just a little bit of setting spray until it's the consistency you're looking for. And then just mix, mix, mix. Really, this works better with a mixing medium, but I just haven't bought one yet because I'm lazy. And then a lot of people are starting this trend where they use micellar water and mix it with eyeshadow instead. And micellar water is a makeup remover, so I don't really want to try that hack. Now, since mint condition was a bit too minty and green, in other words, I mixed in my Bluebell pigment from Mika's Beauty Shop. I can't find my super fine liner brush, so I'm going to be using this one instead. It will do just as great, and then I'm literally just going to be outlining exactly where I cut my crease. Just like that. And now I'm going to go do the star off camera because this brush is a bit fatter than I want to use. And I really don't want to mess this up. Alright, and I'm back. Now time to do the final step of this look. And now using my Blue Blood palette in shade Mint Tea, I am slowly going to build that into a darker purple. And I'm stopping right about here for the blue shadow just because I'm going to be adding some sparkly glitter. And now to build that up to the purple, of course we're going to go light blue into purple. Alright, now that I've done and added that purple, it's time for the liner once again. Alrighty tidy, now that that eyeliner is done, just to separate a little bit, it's time to add some glitter right in here. Just like we have to lay down a base for our shadow, we have to lay down a base for our glitter. I absolutely love using the NYX glitter primer. I haven't tried any others, but this is good enough for me, so I'm going to stick with it. And for a pressed glitter, I'm going to be using my ColourPop pressed glitters. I'm deciding between the first three up here, so let me make up my mind real quick and I'll come back. Okay, I've made up my mind. I think light snow is going to fit the vibe very well, so let's go ahead and lay down our glitter primer. Alright, and that's everything for the eyeshadow. Now I'm going to go back in time and show you the spot that I missed, and it'll be easier than tracing out this star. So instead of tracing the star, we're going to place it down first and then build up our shadows. And now when you're blending these shadows right over the sticker, you just want to go very lightly because it will move and you will just be destroyed. And now that that blend is done, it is time to take off the sticker. It can be a bit tricky, but there you have it. And then we'll just make it a little better by outlining it once again. So since you've already seen how I do the rest of the shadow, I'll come back with the final look. And here is the final look, and you know I had to use my It's Just Belle Anyway lashes in style Bashful. And if you're like, oh my god, I did not know you had your own lashes, yes I do. And right now, if you spend over $10, you automatically get 10% off added to your cart, no code needed. And if you check the description, I'll put the link so it's easy to find. But I really hope this tutorial helped and got you out of your comfort zone. Let me know if you would wear this out in public. And if you find any cool makeup or eyeshadow ideas, make sure to tag me on my TikTok or my Instagram and I will definitely check it out. But that's pretty much it. I hope you liked this tutorial. Catch you later.